What's up YouTube, it's your boy Zeoxys, and in today's video we're going to be talking about should you summon for king, or I shouldn't say should you summon, but should you save for king. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of discussion of people skipping the banner, people summoning, people thinking king is not going to be meta and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to cover most of those in this video, but not everything, because I do want to have another kind of video like this when king does actually release on global. Now, Blue King is a fantastic unit. I think he's one of the best units, top 5 probably in the game, in my opinion. In ungeared, if you can get him a 6 out of 6 or a 5 out of 6 ultimate, you guaranteed win. If you can get it off, that's legit. Like, I feel like he has the best ultimate when it comes to ungeared if you have 6 out of 6. I've never tried it 1 out of 6, but I've never seen a 1 out of 6. I don't know how it does that 1 out of 6, but 6 out of 6 will definitely get the job done. The thing about King is he's a very good unit, but I personally am skipping King's banner, not because he's a bad unit or anything like that. It's just that King is not a unit. I already know on global, King is not a unit I'm going to use as much. A character, like when he first came out on JP, I cared about King a lot, but on global, ever since Ludoshio, I've been, like, Ludoshio is the character I care about the most right now in all of Grand Cross. I care about Ludoshio the most, so I don't care about any of these units really. But King is a very good unit. He has this release effect, obviously, that gives him extra damage to damage over time debuffs. So on a rank 2, when it says releases 100% of any damage over time damage, what it means is, for example, poison. As you guys see, poison additional damage equal to 60% of damage dealt at the end of every turn. Basically, on a rank 2, I'm not doing a rank 1 because I still don't know the exact number for a rank 1, but on rank 2, what it means is that 60% of poison would be added onto this skill if poison was affected. So I think bleed is 90%. So if there was bleed and poison, it would be 150% added onto this rank 2 skill. So it just go up. That's how release works. And this King is actually based off of the debuffs, such as poison, shock, bleed, and corrosion. He's mainly based off of that. But I personally feel like one thing I've noticed, especially when it comes to Grand Cross between global and JP players, is that global players pick up on stuff JP players figure out a bit later on. And what I mean is, when Blue Wing King came out, nobody was, like, he was the unit everybody was using, right? Nobody was really trying to find a quote-unquote counter to it or anything like that. But later on in the months, or later on, I think it was actually a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, people discovered that Valenti is obviously one of the best counters to this, because of Valenti's passive. Obviously, you're going to have her built. I'm not sure how she works in ungeared. I might be thinking of geared only, but I'm pretty sure I've seen ungeared too. But basically, with her passive, it's going to allow King and Hendrickson, who's the other unit you absolutely need to have with King if you want him to work. There's no other option. But King Hendrickson, how it works is basically with this passive, they're going to patience, which means their debuffs will not be effective. You can also counter this with Blue Gother. I've been telling people to probably start working on Blue Gother just in case, because he is going to have the most CC out of all the Gothers, and he has a weak point AoE card, so he will probably do damage if you build him up right. Or you could just bring evade food. Honestly, that was what everybody was telling people to do on JP, but nobody ever wanted to do it, because bringing evade food is kind of a waste of food, because you're only getting it for 1 turn, right? Like, it's only evading for not one turn, but it's only evading the first attack. After that, you basically have no food. While if you bring attack food, you have attack food the whole fight. If you bring alt gauge food, it is only the first turn, but it just gives you your ult faster, which just has you kill everybody. So it's a huge difference. All right, out of all the foods, I would say evade food is probably the most quote-unquote useless. I mean, obviously it's effective, but it's useless when it comes to that, because it's only one hit. After that 1 hit, you have no food basically. So yeah, it's definitely useful, but yeah. We can go over King's banner. King's banner was actually one of the best banners in the game. So we had King and Hendrickson, who had Raid Up Perfection. Then Goddess Ellie and Lost Faith Meliodas were on the banner. Basically every single sin on this banner had Raid Up. or I shouldn't say sin, but every single part 2 units and coin shop units had rate up, basically. So if we look here, you got the coin shop units, Red D Meliodas. These are the coin shop sins. So Red D Meliodas, Blue Giant Diane, Green Bond, Blue King, Red Gother, Green Merlin, Red Escanor. And then on part 2 you had Green Zarathos, Blue Bellion, Blue D Meliodas, Red King. And then you had the part 1 unit. So this banner is actually all over the place. The banner is useful, very good, but it's also kind of bad for the sole purpose of, if you look here, right, Hendrickson Slater, for the part 1 unit, you're probably going to have them all 6 out of 6, or just not even going to use any of them. Like, out of all these units, I'm only ever going to see you be using Slater probably for Red Demon, Hauser for farming, not really Guild Thunder, and Jericho, just really it. That's really it. You're not going to use Grimoire, you're not really using Red Guild Thunder, and you're not using Gila or Hendrickson. That's what it is. For part 2, you're going to be using Red King most of the time, but because of this king, you can't even run Red King. So again, I tell this to people all the time, you guys are summoning, or I shouldn't say you guys, but everybody's summoning on a banner for that banner unit, the main banner unit. You're not going to summon on, like, for example, you're not going to come and summon on this king for Liz. You're summoning on the banner for king. You want king, you don't want Liz. I mean, of course you want to pull Liz, but your main goal of summoning is for king. It's not for Liz, right? You're not summoning, and then when you get king, you're never going to use him, and you're just going to keep summoning until you get a Liz. That's not what the banner is. You're summoning for king. That's how it is. If we actually, actually, hold on one sec. Alright, well, I was trying to find the video, but I couldn't actually find it, so it's fine. But basically, like I was saying, on this banner, like, you're not gonna really use any of these units anymore by the time it comes out. Red Fairy King, you're not gonna be able to use him if you plan on using Wing King. Blue D Meliodas, you're gonna still use Pen, but you're probably gonna have him 6 out of 6. Belly, you're not gonna touch. Zarathos, you're not gonna use. Red Escanor, you're probably not going to be seeing him ever again after, like, I have not seen Red Escanor like that since Liz dropped. Green Merlin, you're still going to use her in the back, but she will die out soon. Red Gother has been basically complete, on JP I should say, he's been completely replaced with Green Gother. On Global, it's kind of the same. It's like Global, it's 75% Green Gother, 25% Red Gother. You're not going to be able to use Blue King, Bond, Diane, and Red Demon Meliodas. You're not going to be using them. So, and this banner is like a banner if you want to reroll on it and stuff like that. I mean, especially for the people who skipped Goddess Liz's banner, this is probably the banner you want to summon on. But this is not, in my opinion, I don't think this is going to be like a must summon banner. At first I thought it was, but then after I found out, that was before I found out the counters were like Valenti. Valenti, just her being there stops this team from doing what King's meant to do. It kind of stops this release card. Gother just stops them from using debuffing skills. So again, it doesn't stop this release card. Well, it does. It stops release basically. So it's probably best if you do have the gems, obviously summon for the banner. But I would highly recommend not skipping, but if, like, for example, who's another unit that you could summon on that would be much more beneficial or useful, I should say? Like Green Draw. You summoning everything you have on Green Draw's banner and then skipping Wing King is not a bad option. Same for Easton. Summoning on Easton's banner and skipping Blue King is not a bad option. I honestly don't think on Global this Blue King is going to be as meta as he is on JP. Or on JP he actually kind of fell off because now it's the Goddesses running everywhere. Right, Ludocio, Sario, Tarmio. Goddess Liz is always there, and she's just always there, right? It's just the Goddesses running the place over there. But it's those Goddesses that now allow you to use any unit and they could be good. Like, go look at Nagato, shout out to Nagato, but go look at him. He keeps making these crit teams, and it's legit Ludocio, Green Gother, I forgot who's in the back, and then any unit. He's legit bringing any unit he wants with those two, and he's winning. Because it's just so easy with, like, you know, those units. So I personally am skipping this banner for Ludocio, even though Ludocio in my opinion has the worst banner in Grand Cross history. But yeah, you could summon for this. This is definitely not a must skip. It's not a must summon in my opinion, unless again you're free to play that skip Goddess Ulysses banner. Then you're probably summoning on this banner. That's for you. But if for the people who are quote unquote, or I shouldn't say quote unquote, but for the people who are whales and dolphins and stuff like that, people who actually put money into the game, you don't need to go crazy on this banner. You could get your one dupe and head out, honestly. Not really, because this king, like other than the other Grand Festival units, for example, what's their name, Goddess, Liz, and LV, you're using their skills really before, like, and I mean LV you're using his ult most of the time, but you could use his skills and kill. With this king, you're most likely going to be using his ult more than his cards. I mean, this card actually one-shots if you have these debuffs, but the second he comes to global, everybody's going to be running Valenti. It's just how global players work. They're not going to wait a couple months to start using her. They're going to use her right away. So yeah, that's what I think about Blue Wing King. You don't need to summon on him free to play if you skip Liz's banner. Yes, if you summon and you are free to play on Liz's banner, this is a banner you don't need to summon for, but you definitely want. You could if you want to, and stuff like that. That's what I think. But yeah, I guess that's the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what banner you guys are summoning on. Let me know if you guys are going to summon on this banner or not. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Later. Peace. Later. Hey.